Please help me welcome back to this platform Reverend Sandhi Scott.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, I have high heels on. I thought, this is shorter. Oh, well, let's greet each other again. Let's get real friendly. Let's go down the middle and turn towards the middle. Stand up. Turn towards the middle and say, hi there, to somebody. Howdy. Bonjour. Buenos dias. Okay, now just where you are, center yourself and breathe in and think, oh my God, what an experience we have ahead of us here. God's in charge. Doesn't matter who's holding the light up here. The matter is light. Light is the only thing that matters. That light expressing as our lives. And each person here is a God container, is a light being, is a lantern. As Emerson said, people are doorways through which spirit manifests. Isn't that wonderful? So think the highest thought you can about the person in front of you or persons. The very highest thought. Child of God, living light, being, not doing. And then place your hands together in front of you and find somebody's eyes. And as you're saying namaste, you're saying the light in me greets the light in you. And so together we say namaste. Okay, good, thank you. Now that we know who we are, so what brought you here today besides your car? Or your bike? Whose blue bike is that? I love that blue bike. Yeah, I thought this is the right place. Things growing outside. The center looks amazing. It is completely transformed. Everything from the energy to the paint to everybody. I think you should give yourselves a hand. It really is fabulous. I'm here because I'm a being of light. I believe, as Ernest Holmes said, that we believe the universe is here for the expression of life. And that's all we have to do. No different than a beautiful, beautiful rose or a tulip or a freesia. It blooms and it gets through the rock and the dirt and it gets through the air and it gets up to the sun and goes and blooms until it doesn't. Everything's temporary except who you are. Everything. Every person, place, or thing that has a beginning has an ending. And that's really cool when you're centered in the now. When you're in the fan blades, not so much. So I'm here because I've been committed to science of mind since 1977, since the first day. I came to this church in La Jolla, and this fabulous blonde was out there stomping around like a palomino. She was just so gorgeous, and she had such a being, and she was just speaking common sense. And she was telling us how she got in trouble and how she got out of trouble. How the truth is expressed in the science of mind and how we can live it. So I love doing what I'm doing this morning. I have shifted. I had a very long trip. It was a very long trip. Talk about Moses for 40 years. It was a long trip from look at me to how may I serve you. And that's all I want today. I want to be able to serve you. I want to be able to present the interpretation of light as the science of mind as presented by Ernest Holmes. He's timeless because God is timeless, and God is what he expressed so absolutely beautifully. I was ordained in 1983 and really thought I was something. I mean, I was on top of the world. I had it going on, you know? And actually, these principles, the opportunity for you is to allow these principles, allow this truth, these facts and the truth, allow it to lift you to an unbelievable height. I started out in a laundromat in Mission Beach, San Diego. I had been dumped by my millionaire fiance for my sister. Things weren't going well. From the laundromat to the pulpit in 4 years. That's what's possible. Maybe it'll take you less. Maybe it'll take you more. And maybe it isn't to be a minister. But isn't it to be fully expressed and freely expressed? The heck with the past. The future takes care of itself. Right here, right now, we have this morning. We have this period of time together. It can mean so much to you and to me. It means a lot to me to be here. And for everybody that painted the walls and showed up early and put the coffee on, and good old Skip doing my microphone. Of course, I licked his hand, as I always have. It's a wonderful thing. We have, it's done already. The music, I love Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks. I always say I'm between Janis Joplin and Ruth Gordon. One of my favorite ministers, Michelle Medrano. How many people know her? She's in Scottsdale, and she is fabulous. And she's a minister that is married and had children while she was minister, which is Bonnie and I both. Blah, 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 blah. She had this beautiful son, and we all loved him. We knew him from birth, and then he was this high, and then he was microphone high. And he loved the microphone. He loved the stage. He loved the principles. Have you met people that were raised in religious science? It is awesome. They're not just bravado, fearless. They're fine. They're enough. They're just fine. As is. Just as is. So Michelle is one of the most admired ministers. And one day her son, I guess about 11 or so, said, "Okay, Mom, I want to do church Sunday. I want to be the speaker." She goes, "Yeah, right, in your dreams." And then she goes, wait a minute. And am I missing an opportunity? I always say children know just as much as we know, that God is ageless, the message is ageless. Doesn't matter who's standing here. Doesn't matter a bit. It matters that the truth is being expressed and we can feel it. And we get excited about living it and being it. It's just the most exciting message in the world. And she thought, well, why don't I let my son be the guest speaker? Pretty gutsy. Besides a minister giving up the podium, please. So that's how fine a person you have in Bonnie Smith. She's very gracious and giving and brilliant and loving. So she said, okay, but you better prepare. And he said, I'll prepare. I just need to do it. I just know I'm the one. So she stands up, she goes, well, we have a guest speaker this morning, and it's actually my son. And everyone's going, yeah, that's great. You want to go have coffee? So he gets up, he grabs the microphone. Can I grab this without hurting people's ears? Just for a prop. That's all I need it for. I don't need it live. He comes up, he looks great, he's very confident, he takes the mic and he goes, blah, 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 blah. You don't think it's as funny as I do. I think it's hilarious that this little kid, what he learned from his mother is yak, 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 yak. And I could be just yak, yak, yakking if you don't let me in, if you don't let what I'm presenting make any sense to you, if you stop at my clothes or my past, God bless you. And if you judge me, have at it. You can't match how I judge myself. And judging me is about as challenging as judging LA, I make it real easy. So I'm not here about my personality, my made-up identity. I'm here about the truth. As Ernest Holmes says, illness is a fact. It's not the truth. It's just a temporary fact, an illness. Your hair is temporary. Mine's very temporary. I finally gave into it. Say, okay, we'll go your way. Or does it go this way? We'll go your way. So now I cut it myself and I just blow it dry. I don't even have to touch it. It's like living simply. How close to nothing can I live? I want to identify with the nothing. Even though I have a blast decorating my body. I have a blast. I don't want you to look at the trunk or the bare leaves. I want you to look at the decorations, What's a Christmas tree without ornaments, So it's to have fun. I used to shop on Melrose and spend hundreds of dollars. Now I shop at Melrose. It's a great store. So what about our identity? Think about your driver's license. Someone, can I see your ID? Can I see your ID? Well, the poet Rumi, I'm sure you've quoted Rumi. He's just a fantastic mystic. And there are lots of stories about Rumi. This is one of my favorite. He goes to the bank, and the teller says, I have to have identification. And he goes, oh, no problem. He gets out a mirror. Yep, that's me. But how about saying, yeah, that's me? You know how Edwin Gaines teaches us to go, oh! Try it. Oh! It lifts your energy, doesn't it? Oh! You're here. Oh! I don't know you. How cool. Oh! I love your shirt. Oh! 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 We have a chance today. We have a blank slate. We can start where we are right now and go as high as we possibly can today with our thoughts. That life happens between your ears. Have you noticed? The monkey mind and divine mind. And which would you love to have in charge? How's it gone so far with the monkey? It's like there's a priest that came to Unity in Detroit, well, Renaissance. I was with Marianne Williamson for 4 amazing years. And a priest came and he said, just imagine what this room would be like if everyone had a little microphone blasting out everything you've been thinking ever since you got in here. Yikes! But that doesn't mean anything, does it? It's just the blah, 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 blah. You know, but can you find the truth in the blah, blah, blah? Can you find the truth that this mother, married woman, minister, had the courage to let her son speak, and that she raised a son that knew he belonged on the platform? You know, that's the truth of the blah, blah, blah. It's not the story. It's not the details. It's like everybody has this gift, but how are they going to know unless you express it? Are you a secret? Do you love to isolate? Yes, yes. Love to run. So hopefully, something's the matter in your life. Or are you here just to be puffed up? Are you here just to, you know, look at an old broad giving a message at the very best you can? No. Hopefully you're here because there is a better way. There is a better way to let nothing matter. Nothing matters. Nothing. Because nothing is matter. Matter is nothing. Form comes from the formless. And form returns to the formless. And we try to fight it. Don't die. Don't go. Stay with me. I was at a meeting yesterday and the topic was yo-yo, you know, yo-yo. But of course, I was working on my ego and I thought it was yo-yo. You know how my ego got handled yesterday? I thought, this is so cool. Last week it was Randy Granger in the paper. This week it's going to be me. So I get the paper, I open it up, no ad. And the big thing about that is I laughed. I had asked for my ego to be held in check. I asked to get myself out of the way so a message could come through to you that you could use. That maybe because you were here today, maybe you'll get through 3 stoplights without frustration. You know, or maybe you can leave the parking lot without frustration. Or maybe you can stand up without, wherever you are. I can get frustrated at anything, or I can remember it's nothing. This came from nothing. It's going back to nothing. How much do I decide I'm going to experience this? I believe that life is energy. And that when light becomes light, it becomes expressed. When it becomes expressed, it's light. As love, as joy, as compassion, as caring, as balance in your life, as loving yourself, knowing that it's not the little monkey mind you're loving, it's the high self. When you love the high self, you increase the experience of it, whatever it is. Like today, you're blessing the planet. Today, you have a united consciousness. Ernest Holmes says, how do I unite myself with myself? Isn't that great? You know, today, get married, you know. Have your minds meet and unite and allow the greater one to lead. That's its job. It's to lead. It's to inspire. It's to give you the highest way to live in any moment. Any moment, especially when something's really bugging you, you go, all right, this is great. This is an emery board person rubbing me the wrong way. But what would it be rubbing if I didn't have an edge? You know, so emery board people, well, what's my edge today? Well, it's self-centeredness, clearly. If I'm reacting, it's about me. My goal is to go from robotic reaction to mindful response. Quite a challenge. Quite a challenge, especially if you have ready, fire, aim, to aim after you fired. I've had to learn to calm down. I've learned how to prefer peace. I was raised in chaos and tension and high drama, and that was my vibration. That was my frequency. You know, we're all light, we're all energy, and the frequencies can be high or low, can't they? Change your thinking, change your life. Change your thoughts from, I'm too fat to wear this skirt, I don't like the color of my nail polish, to, what an opportunity to get out of the way and let spirit speak. I mean, I had read today, I had a goal for today. Besides coming here, I wanted to do my absolute best. I wanted to be the clearest ever. And so I finished the Bible and the Quran this week. Saturday, I finished them. I wanted to see exactly what the Quran said. And then I wanted to read the Bible again. I've read it several times, but I read it this time with the Science of Mind filter. Where do I find Science of Mind in the Bible? It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere, in every annoying chapter. Da, 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 da. So, and then I read the Bhagavad Gita several times, you know, and my Bible's this big. My Bhagavad Gita is this big. Science of Mind is pretty big. The big book is pretty big. And I used to carry them around. I wouldn't come to speak without a huge bag. In fact, it's in the car. It got as far as the car, and I thought, don't do that. You know, carrying this big bag. And this is all the stuff I've read. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter what I think Science of Mind is. It matters that you feel that there's something uplifting, onward, forward moving, that's being felt in this room, that we're moving onward, onward. When you get stuck, onward, onward. It can be your mantra, onward. Do I want to stay in this low vibration, or do I want to stay in the high frequencies of joy? If joy is really innate, as so many of these teachings tell us, joy is within you, God is within you, the Christ is within you, Allah is within you. By the way, Allah is hardly even mentioned if you haven't read the Quran. And the Quran means reminder. I'm a reminder. I'm a reminder. I want to remind you that you are a grand cosmic being. I want to remind you that anything on your path is temporary. It doesn't matter. It matters how you are with it. Do you want to make it a big boulder and go, ooh, ooh? You know, Ernest Holmes says we're doomed to repeat with monotonous regularity the patterns of our past. You know, not again. I saw the cow pie. I smelled the cow pie. I was walking towards the cow pie. I had a wide open field, and I stepped in it again. How could I have done that again? It was right there, big and stinking. So walk around it. Don't resist it. What you resist persists. It's true, isn't it? When you don't like someone, they're always there. And when you visit family, oh, they're there. Because that's where your pattern started. So you break the pattern, you break the mold. Today hasn't happened. The spirit, the it, doesn't know who you are or what you're doing. You're the one that chooses the matter. You have the control knob. You know, do you want to turn it down and be in the solid denseness? Or do you want to turn it up and be as close to nothing as you can? To wear as little as you can wear. To eat, drink, and spend as little as you can. Wouldn't that be something? To eat, drink, and spend just what you need. To realize that more is less. More food is less. Less health. More booze is less everything. More spending is total loss. More is less. Less is more. So that's one of my mantras. Less is more, enough is enough. Less is more, enough is enough. Let's say it together. Less is more, enough is enough. Less is more, enough is enough. Yeah, basta, enough. I've had enough. There is that bite when you eat. You know that's when you should stop, right? it's that bite, the magic bite. And you go, but I'll be hungry. Well, wait 15 minutes and see if you are. You know, it's that patience and preferring the gliding in life instead of the hideous ups and downs that has been my life. Ups and downs with brief periods, then ups and downs, and then ups, and then burnout for 2 years. And then here it was ups and downs and down and loss of a boyfriend of 4 years. When I told him I was in love with him, he died that night of a heart attack. Down. Down. You know, I don't have luck with, have you noticed? Dump for my sister, heart attack, stay away from me. The least I could do for humanity was not to have children. The least I can do for men is to leave them alone. Tom knows this. He's my friend, you know. We've gone through our ups and downs, and we're friends. You know, what matters? What matters? What would this center be if we really knew the truth about it? What would this center be if we really knew this is it? This is the place to be for classes. I took roots from them, the Baileys. Them. We've had our ups and downs. What, does it matter? No. Not at all. It doesn't matter at all. That's life, up and down. You're not going to be in love with your mate all the time, are you? Oh, you are? Well, of course, I married them. Mr. and Mrs. Kleitz. Oh, God, what a wedding that was. It was just so them. It was just no stress, no nothing, just a beautiful wearing what you wanted to wear and what you wanted to wear, your bedroom slippers. Authenticity. It's okay to be you. People are going to hate you anyway. Why pull in and, you know, pretend you don't have wings and pretend you don't know anything because your aliveness might bother somebody? Well, your aliveness, if you're showing off, does bother people. But if your aliveness is expressing life at your very best, staying at the highest frequency you can stay, getting off opinions and reactions, beat, 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 very fast, beat. Tell the truth quickly, forgive yourself quickly, and what? Onward. Onward. So we keep moving onward, because that's the rhythm of life. Nothing is solid. This is all a vibration of energy. This is denser than this. It's all temporary. It's all matter, and it doesn't matter. With the books I read now from this, I almost wish I'd brought it, this huge satchel of the source books of religions, right? Now, I carry these. This is what it's boiled down to. And my interpretation of it is important to me, but not important to you. What I discovered in Los Angeles, being a Terry Cole Whitaker clone, was that her interpretation of the science of mind wasn't mine. Oh, is it okay for me to read the big book, the Science of Mind text for myself, for my understanding? Or am I just going to listen to a minister who's dynamic? Or take a class that is life-changing? What depends on your identity is your interpretation of life, isn't it? So if there were one thing I could say to you or advise, and this is not advice, this is called Sermon by the Sea. And it was Ernest Holmes. Bonnie knows it well. So do the Baileys, probably a lot of you. It means a lot to me because there's a beautiful chapel at Asilomar, this retreat grounds between Carmel and Monterey, and it's just exquisite. I decided to be a minister there in 1980, and I was afraid to tell people. Now I'm not afraid to tell people. I used to keep it quiet that I was a minister after I left the church. Oh, don't think I'm a minister because I can't behave right. You know, like, give it your all this morning, but don't count on me to give my all next week. You know, isn't that true, Bonnie? Consistency takes discipline. Consistency takes consistency. It takes the golden key, that little tiny book, 6 tiny pages. What does it say? Focus on the good. Refocus on the good. Focus on God. Refocus on God. What is God? Dogs, of course. Focus on the dogs. This is the one statement that I think you could take for a whole life of living and learning. Find me one person who has completely divorced himself from himself, all arrogance, and you will have discovered for me an open pathway to the kingdom of God. An open pathway. So you're not saying my way is the way. Just say, I go to this center, and I swear, I have these ideas, and it feels like the minister's just talking to me. That's because we've united and we're on the same frequency. You know, hopefully we are. You know, I feel your energy. I'm thrilled. And I'm doing my best to let it come back to you through the doorway that is me. Scary, huh? I said, can't someone live my life for a while? Okay. This is the pearl. It would be wonderful indeed if a group of persons should arrive on earth who were for something and against nothing. This would be the summum bonum of human organization, wouldn't it? It is in the life of the individual. See if you can take this in. See if it could mean something. See if you could try it on for today. Find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others out of the burden of his soul, and I will find another Savior, another Jesus, and an exalted human being. Find me one person who no longer has any fear of the universe or God or of man or of anything else, and you will have brought to me someone in whose presence we may sit, and fear shall vanish as clouds before the sunlight. Find me someone who has redeemed his own soul, and he shall become my redeemer. You can't, I can't give anything. You know, when I'm not a pulpit minister, and they say, don't you miss it? And I said, well, I have compassion for every minister today, trying to give what you can't give, trying to describe what you can't describe. So all we can do is feel it, because it is nothing. It isn't matter. It is no thing. So all I can do is express it at my best. The love I have for these principles, how they've seen me through. I mean, the drama queen years, my gosh. I was addicted to drama. I was addicted to tension. You know the tension between you and a kite? And then you let go and you go, oh, the kite's gone. Oh, the drama's gone. Now what? Well, I'll find some more. Redeemed his own soul. Take your hands off your throat. Or ask someone to take your hands off. That's what practitioners do. They take your hands off your throat and say, listen, you've forgotten who you are. I'm reminding you who you are. You are amazing. You are magnificent. You are nothing other than what you say you are or what you experience you are. So you decorate your life. You know, I buy glasses I love. It's important to me. I have dogs I love. It's really important to me. It gives me joy. It keeps me walking. It keeps my feet on a dirt path with these happy, happy dogs ahead of me. I have a new puppy called Luigi. I say he's an Italian Chihuahua because he's very annoying, and he's a Latin lover. I love you. So find me someone who has given all that he has in love without morbidity, and I will have found the lover of my soul. Is that not true? Why? Because he will have revealed to me the nature of God and proved to me the possibility of all human souls. So what goes on, I think, in gatherings today that are based in New Thought truths, which is not New Age. It started in the 1800s. What I think is going on here in this room is a mystic experience of the truth of your being. And you take this out and make it matter. You make it matter. You present evidence that you've heard the truth about yourself today. And you radiate that. And you establish an emotional budget on a screen in front of you. Your emotional budget today. That, let's see, my frequency is this. My highest idea of me, my highest frequency is this. And the way I stay there between where I am and where I know I can be is with the frequency control knob. I control the frequency. I don't have to react to anything. I can just go, That's possible. That may be true. With no conflict. If you're for something and against nothing, that's what you see all day. I am for joy, innate joy. You can't kill the joy within you. You can muffle it, you can strangle it, suffocate it, but you can't delete it. So you decide what you're focusing on today, and you let nothing derail you. Someone says, let's go to the jazz concert tonight. And you're tired, but you don't want to admit you're tired. You're a religious scientist. You don't want to go. Well, aren't you a social person? What's the fact? It would cost me too much energy. It's too expensive for me. It's too high-ticket an item. And you choose out of choosing, not of saying no to the person, but yes to what gives you life. And if they take offense, you've done your best. You've always done your best, haven't you? You are the best. Look in the mirror. You're the best. So I've had a wonderful time. And I pray that something has ignited the light in you. I call myself a flame fanner. What you do with what I'm fanning is up to you. If it is to be, it is up to me, the 10 two-letter words. And all this, even this boils down, this boils down. I forgot my visual aid. I didn't bring my books. I didn't have a pen when I was sitting there. I'm usually, the last minute, I'm not enough. It's like, enough already. You've read enough. You've done enough. Just express it. But express it for a greater good. Come to church for a greater good. Of course you come for yourself. But how about everybody else? What if you weren't here today? We would be missing your energy. It would be incomplete. The closing thing is, this is spiritual stew. You brought your onion, you brought your cilantro, you brought your tomatoes, you brought your garlic. And if you just sat at home with your garlic, the flavor doesn't get released. But when we come here and we release the best of us, we unite ourselves to ourselves. I unite me with me. And we become this one wonderful energy from which we can drink deeply and take it out and prove that you were here today. And give from your mystic self. It's the hard part sometimes for a minister is, give me the money. Give me your money. Give me lots of your money. Don't you realize if you give, you receive? Read the principles. But what's true? Those are facts. Church needs money. All churches need money. Ministers need money. There's a need for money. Money matters as much as the church needs it to matter. And it needs it to matter for the physicalness of it, for the beauty of it, for the watering the plants outside, all of it, So then it isn't about the building and it isn't about the budget. It's about the mystic experience of actually being able to give. I am able to give today. I'm able to give, and I celebrate this givingness, and I join it with all the other money, and it becomes this beautiful mystic offering for this church to live in the mysticism that it teaches and presents with no worries, no lack, no limitation, only the truth, that it's an abundant world. Krishna says, behold my magnificent opulence. Thank you.